Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So this isn't going to be another build video or anything like that, but I think this is a video that's going to be touching on something that's a very hot topic in the DVD community right now, and something that does need to be addressed and it does need to be fixed. As many of you have seen, big content creators such as Astava, Spooky, Dowsy, Potato Legion, Coconuts, just to name a few, have all made videos regarding this. And there's things that I want to touch on myself as a content creator on this platform, and things that should be looked at as well. One of these things is who is truly to blame for the hacking situation. Most people are like, it's all DVD's fault, it's behavior's fault, it's all their fault, no one can say anything else, it's completely behavior's fault. And that, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, is a double-edged sword. Yes, a large amount of it is behavior and the fact that they have a easy anti-cheat to be able to get around. It's very difficult from a game developer to battle against hack clients, because the issue with hack clients is they are actively being worked on. Every time you release a patch, they spend the next few days trying to figure out a way around it, and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of things that are to blame. You have the blame of behavior, because they've allowed this to continue, their lack of support, the lack of mobilization against these hackers to prevent them. Obviously, easy anti-cheat isn't working. There's something else obviously we need to look at. The other part of the blame goes down to content creators. We've fantasized. I haven't. Bearing in mind I am a fairly new content creator on this platform, but there's a lot of streamers out there who have got hacker cams, who have got clown cams, or many different names that they call it, where a hacker will hold them hostage in a game. They put them in a little box on their screen as they then play the game on another platform or switch games entirely. That in itself promotes them, as well as all the videos that I see on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, even just downright doing videos on hackers where you're showing them hacking. Now, all of these is what the hackers have got generally worse over the years. Why have they got generally worse? Because more content creators are on the platform. People see people like Ostava, Spooky Loops, Dowsy making money from producing content and staying at home and making content for YouTubers, and they want to do the same thing. And as a content creator, as all content creators, we do what we need to do to get views. And if you release a 20-minute video on doing a build that gets 2 or 6 or maybe 100 or 300 or 600 or maybe even 1,000 or 2,000 views, and then you release a video on going against a hacker, and that video then hits 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, maybe even 100,000 views, then that's the kind of content you're going to create, because it gets you more views. And as a content creator, that is something that we are constantly trying to figure out, is what we can do to keep interest, to get people to watch our content. Some content creators do it for the money. I can assure you I don't. I enjoy making content, and that's why I do content. I work a full-time job. I make content in my spare time when I can, which is why I don't upload as regularly as other content creators who do this full-time upload. But I do what I can, also making sure that I work my job to support my life. And that's where I get my money from. I make no money from my YouTube videos. I don't make any money from anywhere. And it doesn't bother me. I still make videos. But it comes down to the fact that a lot of the recent publicity that's been coming out from content creators has been putting all of the blame onto DBD and onto behavior, when all of the blame does not sit solely on behavior. Now, yes, I understand they don't want a DC because they don't want the DC penalties, because the first DC is 5 minutes, then it's 10 minutes, then it's an hour, then it's 2 hours. I don't know the penalties myself because I don't DC from games, but I understand that the DC penalty continues to get worse and worse and worse. I myself thought Fog Whisperers were immune to the DC penalty. Apparently, according to Spooky, they're not. So they still get the DC penalty. If you DC once or twice from a game, you're probably not going to get a penalty at all, because you don't DC. If you DC on a regular occasion, then you will start getting DC penalties. And I understand DC is not the answer. There's nobody ever wants to DC from a game. And I have done this myself. I've played against a number of hackers. Or I've played with a number of hackers who have tried to keep me in the game. I just don't post videos about it because I don't believe in promoting it. However, I don't mind locking them into a game for 2 hours, because while they're in a game with me, holding me hostage, I'm stopping them from holding somebody else hostage. I have this game on my Xbox, I have mobile, I have other things, I also have other games and other things that I do. I own a Minecraft server, I can go and do some work on there while they're keeping me thinking they're keeping me hostage for 2 hours. I'm writing a new plugin for my Minecraft server. So it just gives me something else to do. I just mute the game and I get on with what I'm doing, and then I check on it every 20 minutes or so to see when they DC, or when the game after 2 hours eventually collapses. But in itself, we can't put all the blame on DBD for this, because it's not all DBD's fault. It's our fault as well as content creators for promoting this stuff. Something that I do want to touch on is behavior's post regarding it. So I will, in editing, I will have to put obviously the images in to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the post that basically starts off with, cheating is an ongoing battle in any online game in Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is no exception, which is true. No matter what game you play, no matter what platform you play, cheating is always a part of it. And the hardest thing as a game developer is to keep on top of it. Because no matter what, for every developer you can have on a game, there is 3 people for every developer trying to break the game, so cheaters can prosper. There is a never-ending arms race between game developers and cheat makers to find fixes to new vulnerabilities. Tracking these vulnerabilities will remain a top priority to us, which is true. For any company, that is always the problem. Lately, many of you have shared experiences playing against cheaters that we have no intention of leaving you in the dark. First and foremost, we abundantly are aware of the ongoing situation. We've been treating it very seriously, and to put it bluntly, cheating sucks. And we have made measures to prevent it. It frustrates us as much as it does to hear you that somebody's ruined your experience in the game. We tend to stay quiet when it comes to cheating to avoid giving cheat developers vital information, but recent events have decided us to pull back the curtain to shed some light on what we've been doing to combat cheating and what we'll be doing moving forward. Please forgive the vague language in this post because we cannot share any information which could be used to make it easier to cheat. So just in that paragraph, and that's the first paragraph, DBD has been aware of it. The only reason why DBD has made this post is because Fog Whisperers have been coming out about this. Fog Whisperers, as you may watch in Dowsy's video, where they have to sign multiple NDAs and stuff like that in order to be in the Fog Whispering program. And even they're not getting the information to the point where they're so frustrated they've made videos about it. And then on top of it, they're saying, oh, well, we've known about the issue, but we've just been keeping quietly about it because we don't want to give them any advantages. They already have the advantages. They're already cheating. Like, the anti-cheat doesn't exist. They already have the advantages. Like, at this point, I really don't know what you could say to make it easier for the cheaters, because they're having no issues going through the game and cheating at will. Then it goes on to an image, and it's basically an image of like 200,000 cheaters are banned in big bold writing. Now, Dead by Daylight came out in 2016, I believe. That's 7 years ago. Now, 200,000 seems like a big number, but if that being the lifetime bans, I actually expected that number to be far bigger. And I think a lot of it comes down to the effects. They've said that they've banned 50,000 this year alone. So they've banned a quarter of the bans that they've done in total in their lifetime has been this year. Like, I'm not sure whether they're saying, oh, well, obviously they're doing something about it, because to me, the numbers seem low. Considering how many times you go up against cheaters, there's obviously a lot of accounts out there, so there's a lot of bans. So then they start talking briefly, and I mean, pretty vague, about what they do. So in Dead by Daylight, we have a zero tolerance for cheaters. Once we detect somebody has cheated or is trying to cheat, their account is permanently banned from the game. These are a few ways we address cheats. Automated bans. We work with our anti-cheat partner, Easy Anti-Cheat, to report, track new cheats, and anti-cheat detects one of these being used, they will automatically be banned. In-game countermeasures. We make changes to both the game and the client and the dedicated servers to prevent cheaters from doing certain things. This lessens the impact cheats do to reduce on when if you look at some of these videos, I don't see the server. Like, if somebody was to come onto my Minecraft server and they cheat, my anti-cheat will try to prevent the cheat from working. So what you tend to see, if somebody's flying and they're not allowed to fly, the server will be trying to pull them back. At no point through any of these videos have I ever seen a video of the server pulling somebody back or trying to prevent an anti-cheat. Like, the stun duration, the in-game checks. I'm sorry, is there a perk that I don't know about that I should be using that stuns a killer for 5 minutes? Like, how is the in-game check not realizing that this stun animation is going on too long? Or the fact that the end-game collapse has happened and the game, an hour and 45 minutes later, is still going on. Like, how are these in-game checks not looking at this stuff? Like, it's some of the most basic and easiest things to detect. So, from my opinion and my point of view, from what I'm looking from the games that I've had and the videos that I've seen, I don't see any in-game countermeasures. None at all. So I would love to know what these in-game countermeasures are, because I truly don't see them. I've never seen. Like, ironically enough, I see more legitimate players getting lagged back than I do seeing cheaters get lagged back. Like, how many times have I been in a run and then all of a sudden I've been lagged back to the last vault that I just did, right in front of the killer? Like, I've had a lot of lag back with that, but I've never seen a hacker get lagged back. Ironically enough, they usually have better ping than me. Manual bans. We investigate reports, manually block cheaters. This is crucial when new cheaters have not yet been tracked by the anti-cheat. So basically what this means is they track individual cheats. So there's a certain code pattern that they track. And basically what they do is they program it into the system that if you see this code pattern, then you're cheating, so get rid of them. But if they just modify the code slightly, then it can't detect them anymore. Because it's taking the code literally, not metaphorically. Whereas in other games, they tend to match code. They tend to match code with movement. So if you're not allowed to fly and you're flying, it automatically bans you because it knows that you're not supposed to be flying. So if you're therefore flying, you're obviously cheating. Now, with any anti-cheat software, there's always chances for false bans that shouldn't have happened because somebody was lagging too much or something like that. There's always the risk of that. But that's what the support system should be for, is investigating the appeals for the people that are falsely banned. Like, I sent a support ticket in about 6 months ago regarding a cheater. It took them 4 months to get back to me and say, we've investigated the issue. Thank you. Thanks for the report. We've investigated the issue. 4 months for that. That is absolutely ridiculous and absolutely astounding that they think that is efficient amount of time. First of all, I don't know how they can do any form of manual bans because as far as I'm aware, DBD does not keep any form of VODs of games. Now, this may be incorrect because DBD is not exactly open with us on what they do behind the scenes. They have always been terrible with communication, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So when they investigate reports, like, I don't understand what the process that they do, because if they don't record VODs, they can't see if the person's cheating. So are they looking up their account to see if there's any cheating possible behavior from their account, from the information that their account has sent to behavior servers? But if so, I don't see exactly what they could do by reporting. Not to mention, having a person go through and individually check every report is a very slow thing, especially when you may have 60, 70, 80,000 people playing the game all around the same time. And then it goes on to say, in the last 7 days, they've banned over 2,000 cheaters. Which, yet again, I don't know if I trust the numbers or if I believe the numbers, because DBD have not been truthful. And they've said that they've done things that they haven't done, and they've tried to sweep it under the rug. Are they saying all of this stuff to make sure that we stay playing the game because we're all getting sick and tired of it? Or are they saying this stuff because... oh, sorry. Or are they saying this stuff because they're actually doing something? Or they've waited until their fog whisperers have got annoyed and now they're doing something? It's hard for me, without having any actual statistical data from the server, to see exactly how many bans that they've done. Like, you want to do it? Publicly post your ban list. You want to be clearly open with your community? Publicly post your ban list. The accounts that you've banned. Do a thing that every month, once a week or once a month, they publicly post a ban list of all the accounts that have been banned that month. How many of these 2,000 people were unbanned because it was a false ban? How many of there's a lot of information that they're not including in this for me to take this seriously. Other than them saying they're taking steps or they're taking measures, they're taking strengths to stride forward to get this problem solved, they're not telling us how. And some of you may be thinking, but they released a picture with like their schedule. It says live on this picture, and I will bring it up now. Live fixed various vulnerabilities. What vulnerabilities? I understand that you may not be able to go into specifics but if you tell us which ones were fixed, we may have an idea. Like, oh, we've fixed a whole bunch of stuff that should stop players from doing this and this and this. Okay. It says, then the next one is full September 22nd. Player sniping prevention. Now, it is very difficult to prevent stream sniping, which is honestly one of the reasons why I don't tend to stream, especially this game. is player sniping is always has been and will be a part of the game. However, if you see that somebody is actively sniping streams and they're actively trying to get into the lobbies where the streams are, then that person should be banned. If they admit to somebody in their Twitch chat that they're stream sniping, why aren't they banned? Because most games, stream sniping is a bannable offense in most games. So I don't understand. Like, it's one thing when you're in somebody's stream, you say good luck, and then you close the tab out. Because I've done it a few times as killer. Good luck, I'm your killer. I'm closing the tab down now, but I just wanted to wish you luck before the game. I'm your killer. And then I close the tab down. That way, then, if they bring up the menus thing on the side, they'll see that I'm no longer watching. At that point, then, that's it. I've had it before where people then accuse me of stream sniping. And it's like, no, I closed down the stream. I opened up your stream. I wished you good luck. I wanted to let you know that I'm your killer. Good luck. Have fun. What's it called? And then I closed the stream down. If you was to do that, then I wouldn't have an issue with it. Some streamers may. I wouldn't have an issue with it if you was to do it to me. As long as you didn't stay to continue to watch the stream to have the advantages. As long as you didn't take note of any of my perks and stuff like that, then fine. Then it goes, but I just don't understand what else they could do to prevent player sniping. They've got matchmaking delay. They have anonymous mode and stuff like that. I don't really know what much more they could do. Unless the anonymous mode, the streaming mode, and everything else is that section. At which point, it really doesn't do a good job when a lot of these people, as long as they get your cloud ID, they can get into your match with their software. They can make sure that they're in your match. So unless you allow streamers or players to change their IDs on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, there's no way to prevent this kind of sniping that's been going on. Then it goes into the full of 22nd. Additional fail-safes. Can't get any vaguer than that. Additional fail-safes in what? Around what area? Like, oh, we're going to be doing fail-safes and cheating. Okay, like what? More in-game checks to make sure that, like, the player's playing legitimate? Like, it doesn't really say anything. And then it goes into next year, early 23. Improved support tools. Early 23, player report feedback. And then beyond, continued support. Now, continuous support is always, when cheating's involved, there will always have to be continuous support because you will always have to try and stay ahead of the cheaters. But there is so much vagueness in this that it wasn't, they may as well have not posted it. Because the player report, why can't you go into information on this stuff? Because I don't see how that's going to make it easier for you to cheat. Like, that's just telling us what you're intending to do with support tools to make it easier. Are you going to start saving VODs? Are you going to start saving VODs and then using the in-game reporting feature as a flag? So you can then send a support ticket in? Are you going to make it easier to send support tickets in? Or are you going to be able to do it all in-game without having to go to their website? Like, these are stuff that they can answer very easily without compromising the security. But they're not, because this is DBD's attempt to make it look like they're doing something when they're not. And then they've got, going forward, other various ways. First, we will continue to identify and fix the vulnerabilities, limiting the cheats, including additional measures to prevent players sniping forcefully joining a specific player's lobby. Unless you're changing your Steam IDs or the cloud IDs, which, for anyone that doesn't know, if you go into your settings and you go right down, right here is the player's cloud ID. This is unique to every player, no matter what platform that they play on. This is unique. And once you've had this number since your first time you logged into DBD, it generated this number for you, and then you will continue to have this number for the rest of the time you play DBD. Now, unless they intend to change these numbers on a regular basis, There's no way to prevent that. And then even if they do change these numbers, all they need then is the Steam. If you play on Steam, all you need is your Steam ID. So what, are they going to get Steam to change their IDs as well? Like, I don't understand how exactly it is they plan on doing this, because I don't think they're intending to change the cloud IDs, and I don't think they're intending to have Steam change the Steam IDs. Or at least give us the ability to stop. So if we choose to, as a streamer or a content creator, we can stop people from accessing our IDs altogether, is what we need to be figuring out. And then on their second point, they go into more fail-safes, which really does not. I do like the thing of them saying that the game will forcibly end 5 minutes after the end game collapse, which is one thing to make sure that you're not being locked into a game for 2 hours. After the end game collapse, 5 minutes is more than enough time for everyone to leave, everyone to get out, and then the game to collapse. Like, how many times do you go out to the... After you play a game, you go out to the lobby and you could chat with the killer and the other survivors, and then after 5 minutes it says, server cancelled. Like, why can't it be like that? Like, that happens fairly quickly. You've got like 5 minutes to chat to the other people, and then you GG move on to the next game. Third, that they're going to implement a server-side validation, which takes the authority away from the cheater's game client and puts it into the dedicated servers. Now, when... I'm not sure if anyone remembers when we had the IP leak. This was a huge thing where streamers and content creators from all over had their IPs leaked, and basically they were getting DDoSed, they were getting swatted, etc., and a whole bunch of not nice things. This stuff was supposed to have been done then. To take away the stuff from the clients and put it all onto the dedicated servers. That way then you don't individually have access to the individual peoples to access their IPs. The only thing that should have access to all the IPs of all the players is the server. Like, this should have been done then. Now they're saying they're doing it now? Like, this is the part of them lying and not being truthful that is giving me hard times believing what they're saying right now. They said that they fixed it. Other sources say they haven't. And obviously, clearly, as other streamers have still been getting DDoSed, it isn't fixed. I personally use a VPN when I play the game. So even if somebody was to try and DDoS me, unless it was before when unless they got my IP from before I started making content, when I didn't use a VPN, then now I do. So if somebody was to come in and get my IP now, it wouldn't actually be my IP. But I have a hard time believing this. And then on the fourth point, they have improvements to work for both player support tools, which we went into towards the end, where they're improving the support tools. But they've got a whole paragraph, but no information on what they're actually doing, other than we're going to be doing some more work on our in-game reporting system. What kind of work? There's no answer in there. I like the thought of giving you feedback that if the player you reported was banned, if they were cheating. I do like that idea, as much as I understand if they don't want to give that idea, but if not, then I still think they should go ahead and post like a ban list once a month. Beyond game developments, communication, So like they go more into it, and then they put a whole section in there on how you can help. And the way that you can help is by hitting that report button that they may get to in 6 or 7 months, because they're so backdated in their reports. So the ultimate thing comes down to it is they need to pull away from easy anti-cheat and go to a better program. Easy anti-cheat is meant for a game that is beta and in alpha, Not for a game like DBD. Once DBD started generating money, they should have then gone to a far better, a far superior anti-cheat. There is plenty of them out there that do good work. They need to start looking at doing other anti-cheats and coming away from easy anti-cheats. Clearly not doing anything at all. The other thing is they need to be more open and clear about what they intend to do. Like, they've got a PTB coming out, basically adding Unbreakable as base kit, removing Moris from the game. Things that no one has asked for. Over dealing with this and trying to speed up the schedule of this stuff happening. The actual problems in the game. You're talking about adding new stuff. Every time DBD adds something new, they create more vulnerabilities. Stop. Take a break from adding new stuff and fix the problems that are there now. The problems that they need to fix. Otherwise, they are going to start losing the community. Because killers aren't going to want to be held hostage for 2 hours. Survivors aren't going to want to be held hostage for 2 hours. It's something that no matter what kind of a game you play, if you've ever been held hostage by a killer, you will stand there and say, no, we do not want this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And they need stop adding new things to the game and deal with the issues. Speed up the time frame. If you're not adding this update or skipping a chapter in order to get this in, I can assure you your players will be far more loyal than they are now. And you will start generating more players because it shows that you're taking what your community wants seriously. Stop working on a project that no one asked for, nobody wants. Very few people that I've spoken to once, including myself, want Unbreakable as base kit or want to get rid of Moris. Ironically enough, the only thing that I've ever mentioned about Moris is it'd be nice for you to go through some of the older animations like Trappers and actually redo them and make them more exciting. Like, that stuff, like, that's what we want you to do if you was going to do anything. But right now, we need behavior to deal with the hacking situation. Not having base kit Unbreakable. Other than that, like, behavior has a good game here, and it has the ability to do as much. As much as I understand the survivor community and the killer community are always at each other's necks, at the end of the day, ultimately, we do enjoy playing the game. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep playing it. But if you continue to allow the cheaters to run rampant on your game, if anyone from behavior is watching this video, if you do honestly continue to let the cheaters run havoc on here, players will stop playing. That is it. As for any content creators, if any of you are content creators and you're watching my video, stop uploading videos of cheaters. Because you're giving them what they want. When you put them inside your videos, you are giving them what they want. They don't want to make their name famous. That's why usually most cheaters have the name of whatever character they're playing or something silly, because they don't want you to know their name, because they use the same name and they just rename the 1,000 accounts that they have that they've gotten during their free promos. That's all that they do. But you need to stop promoting it. And my other suggestion to BVR is stop giving away the game for free. Because every time you do one of these giveaways, these hackers make multiple thousands of accounts. Thousands of accounts. So when they get banned, they can just move on to the next account. This shouldn't be like that. I understand that DVD is cheap in itself, because there's a lot of DLCs that you have to buy, which ultimately makes DBD not so cheap when you buy all the DLCs. But they're coming in and they're using the free survivors that they get with the game when you're giving away these accounts, and that's what they're using to mess up the game for everyone else. So stop doing the free things. It's one thing if you want to do giveaways to people or stuff like that, which you can do through your fog whispering program and stuff like that, a free DBD account. But like this whole Epic's game deal, you know that thousands of accounts got made just to buy DBD, just to get DBD for free. Like maybe you should start working with Epic Games in trying to track down which accounts are just using these accounts to use it for free, and then start getting rid of the accounts, because I'm sure they want to reduce the amount of accounts, because it means more accounts on their servers, more things to handle on their servers. There is so much more that DBD could be doing. I would rather you see you doing this and not adding any new features right now, because this is a problem. And as somebody who cares about the game, who has played the game for quite a long time, I understand that there's a lot of people that have got more experience with this game. I think I have about 1,500 hours in total on this game. I know that there's people who have got like 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 20,000 hours in this game. And you may know more about the ins and outs of the game than I do. And you may be better at looping killers than I do. You may be better at killing than I am at killing. But it doesn't matter how many hours you have. Being held hostage can happen to anyone. Whether you're a streamer or whether you're not. Because what stops you being a killer, not being a content creator, but then having a killer, a hacker keep you hostage in a game because they're trying to keep a content creator hostage that you're playing with? And I've seen nice videos where killers have done everything they can to get that content creator out of the game so they can free them up to go and be and do things for your streams. And I've seen it, and I like the videos to show that. And if you're out there and you're watching this video and you're one of these cheaters, stop. You're not making a point. You are wasting people's time. And not only are you wasting people's time, you are messing with some people's businesses. Because for them, streaming is a business. If they're stuck in a game for 2 hours on a hacker, it is theft. You're stealing their time where they could be in other games producing content. You're stealing their time. And it's not fair. Like, I understand most people that hack in a game, they hack because they're not good at the game. Same reason why you tunnel and camp in a game. Because rather than challenge yourself to become better, you just do whatever's the easiest thing for you to do. I'm not saying there's something wrong with tunneling and camping, because there's not. And it's far better than cheating. If you cheat, anything you've accomplished in that game means nothing. You haven't won anything. You've used cheats to win a game. It's not you haven't done anything. It's the cheating software. Not to mention, you have to pay a monthly subscription for a lot of these cheating softwares. And, like, why? Why spend that money? But that's all we've got time for. This video is already going to be a long one. But that's all we've got time for this video. And I honestly hope that people hear this, people appreciate this. If you've got comments that you think that I missed, feel free to add them in the comments. I do try and go over and review all my comments. I do try and respond to them. And if you want to see a follow-up video, leave me a comment saying you want to see a follow-up video. Maybe in a few weeks, behaviors turns around and completely overhauled the system. We don't know, but we can see. I can make a follow-up video later on when it looks like behaviors fixed it. Most importantly, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Ironically enough, most people don't do it because they feel that it's not, that they don't need to. But you have no idea how much just dropping a like and dropping a subscription, which is completely free, can help our channels massively. But thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this video. And like I say, any questions or comments or anything else, or you want to just chat, feel free to leave a comment or check me out on my other socials. I've got Twitter, I've got TikTok. Feel free to check me out on them as well. Thank you and goodbye.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.